About our pet shelters and now how they handled the freeze. And now we're going to check in on the sea turtles in South Texas. You might recall hundreds of cold stunned sea turtles washed up ashore during the 2021 February freeze. At that time, dozens of volunteers and people from the community showed up to help. So joining me now is CEO of Sea Turtle Inc., Wendy Knight. Good morning, Wendy.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you guys doing? How are the sea turtles?
We're working on staying warm, and they're doing pretty good this morning.
Awesome. So first, let's explain to the viewers, what is cold stunning?
You know, a cold stun event is when, we live in South Texas. We're on South Padre Island, so normally it's seasonably warm. But when it gets cold here, because sea turtles are cold-blooded animals, they use the water temperature to regulate their body temperature. And when it gets cold like this, they're not able to continue to regulate their body temperature properly. So even though they're awake and alert, they know they're supposed to move their flippers to swim. They know they're supposed to lift their head to breathe, but because it's so cold, their body's not able to respond to kind of that natural reaction, and they end up floating up to the top of the water, and if not rescued, they will drown there from being unable to lift their head to breathe.
Yeah, so when it initially happens, they are still alive, they're just so weak that they can't swim.
Yeah, we often describe it as almost like a comatose state. They're awake, they're alert, they know they're supposed to be doing something, their body just doesn't react to it.
It's using that energy in other ways. So how are the sea turtles handling this Arctic blast? How many sea turtles do you have in your custody?
Well, we left here about 11 o'clock at night last night with a little more than 100 already in the door. And starting about 7 a.m. this morning, we've seen another few dozen on the way. So we expect a pretty busy day today as the water temperature stayed below the threshold for cold stun most of the night last night.
And when you say you're expecting a busy day, and we see on our screen that the sea turtles are getting some kind of a treatment, what type of care are they actually getting?
Yeah, so our most important response in cold stun is really to get them out of the elements. So out of the water, out of the air, and into a more regulated space. So at that point, the good news is nature takes over. And what they need is to stay dry and to stay outside of the cold winds and to just warm back up with their natural body temperature. So what we're doing once we get them in the door is assessing their medical status, making sure that any medical care, urgent care that they need is taken care of, and then we just let them rest and let them do what they naturally do.
And they'll like naturally warm up and come back to how they should be. So in 2021, we know that your organization made a call for help and the community showed up. Are you going to need that kind of help this time? What's been the reaction to this time around?
You know, cold stun events are really an environmental emergency for us, but one of the few positive things that come of it is just an example of what great community support that Sea Turtle Inc. has from those in South Texas and really all over the world. To your point, there are 19 of us that are paid to be here and hundreds and thousands that volunteer their time and effort. Wow. So we send calls out both on our social media, on our Facebook page, and on our website for cold stun season supplies like trash bags and nets and medical supplies and things like that people are able to send to us as a nonprofit. You know, anything that the public can do to help us offset the cost of these kind of catastrophes make a pretty significant impact for us.
Yeah, I mean, it is surprising that you get so many people to help, but also there's such a huge fascination with sea turtles. So tell me a little bit about how Sea Turtle Inc. began.
You know, Sea Turtle Inc. has been responding to cold stun events for 46 years here in South Texas. We had our 46th birthday last year. And I think, you know, these events are an example of where we came from. Sea Turtle Inc. is a nonprofit organization that was literally founded by volunteers and people that just saw this species disappearing and vanishing and saw that without the help of someone else, they wouldn't be able to help themselves. So for the first 20 years of our existence, there were no paid employees at all. The legacy of this organization is volunteerism and giving back to an animal that couldn't help itself otherwise. So we're real proud of that legacy and how it still shows up in our foundation in events and emergencies like this.
Yeah, and you are open year round. So how could people offer help to you? How can they get involved?
Great. Thank you so much for asking. We are open to the public. So we are open from 10 to 4 almost every day of the week. And all of that price of admission goes directly to help us offset issues like this and all the treatment that's required. But the good news is you don't have to be in South Texas on vacation to help. So we live stream almost all of our content on our Facebook page. You can ceremonially adopt a turtle. You can help give donations and through sponsorship of patients on our website at www.seaturtleinc.org. And then, of course, if you're coming on vacation or you live in the area and you want to volunteer, you can do that on our website as well.
I love it. Okay, Wendy Knight, CEO of Sea Turtle Inc. Anything you'd like to add before I let you go?
Thank you so much. You know, like I said, this is a major environmental event and it brings such great attention to so much need around these endangered sea turtles. So we greatly appreciate you and your viewers helping us through this emergency.
Yeah, I know on behalf of the viewers that say that we appreciate you as well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Have a good one.